Hey Sarasota, it's Lenny Besterman. This video that I'm bringing to you is a really special story. Make sure you pay attention all the way to the end. As I'm saying this right now, I know how this group of kids did in the Nationals. They're very special. This whole sport I did not know about. Make sure you stay, listen, understand, and what an opportunity for other kids and potentially your kids to take advantage of a program like this. Very proud to be a part of it. Put in the comments below what you think of this situation and make sure you watch it all the way through. Lenny Besterman, Sarasota Experience. We'll see you really soon. To get this team out there to the world, and wait till you hear their story. It's absolutely amazing and different opportunities, and I've got some amazing stories that I've heard just from 20 minutes worth of talking with Mr. K, and I'm excited about telling everybody about it, and we're going to get into that a little bit later. But what is this sport called?
It's called Formula One in schools.
Uh-huh.
We all know it as F1 in schools.
Okay.
And you will notice that it says Formula One. That's because it is in conjunction with Formula One.
Okay.
They endorse the program, and they're using it as their STEM initiative.
Okay.
So it's a big deal. In the real world of Formula One, they know about this program.
Got it.
And this is, I think, the 14th or 15th year now that they're doing it, and they've been all over the world. The World Finals have been in the UK, Abu Dhabi, Austin, Texas, Singapore, Malaysia, you name it. And essentially what the kids do, it's a group of maximum of 6 kids, and you can have support members if you have more than that, but there are only 6 can compete. And they build an entire Formula One race team.
Okay.
Which sounds like an easy thing, but they have to come up with their logo, they have to come up with a team name, they have to do marketing, they have to have, acquire the resources and the sponsorships. They have to design a 20th scale car that's powered by a CO2 cartridge. They do engineering interviews, they do verbal presentations, they're scrutineering on the cars. It has specifications down to plus or minus 0.1 millimeters. And if they're out of that tolerance, they've essentially could travel around the world for no reason because they would have a critical violation and their car would be illegal.
So I'm gonna sum this up from what our conversation was before.
Sure.
First of all, what's amazing to me that you have to understand, everybody, is this car has to go from A to B in 1 second. And when I first talked to Mr. K on the phone, he told me that this group in Manatee County has been in the top 5 of the world in the last 5 years, which is amazing because in NHL, if the puck hits the crossbar, people get sick over like a quarter inch. You literally are at the beginning of opportunity of failure every time you go to compete. And what's special about this group is there's 6 different people that come from the same area that have no room for failure at all, that keep competing and keep being in the top of the world. So when you hear a success story, you automatically think, oh, it's a slam dunk. They're definitely going to be A, B, and C. They're going to be there. It's not a problem. But every single game, you have to be on top of your game, or you fail miserably by a 1/10 of a second. You could be in last place. Is that accurate?
Absolutely, absolutely. And like I say, the whole competition amounts to about 1,000 points. And sometimes you'll get the difference between second and fourth will be 8 points. So that people get joined up in there. And so it's a jam, and that's why, like I say, you red light one time, that's 5 points that it comes out of your total points. And so if you're only 8 points away from second to fourth, one red light could change where you are.
Now, why don't you tell us a little bit? Now, we understand that you build a car from the beginning, and we're going to get into the specifications and the extreme detail that has to be in place a little bit later. But how it works is you have a team of 6, am I correct?
That's correct.
You have 3 races, am I right? One race is what is equivalent to a drag race, that you go, every car starts A to B, and it's basically the fastest car wins on that. Then you have one person that comes out and is what I will call the quarterback, that has an opportunity that by reaction has to press a button, and if he or she presses it too soon or too late, it affects the final product of the win or loss. So there's engineering graphics. You're completely scrutinized by engineers to understand the value of the car, how it's built. And then there's production side that you have to produce to continue to win, and you're within the top 5 every year. In the world.
Yeah, and like this car here. This is one of our final cars from 2014. It looks like it's a professional, like a metal car, but it's not. This started as a foam block and was milled, CNC manufactured by the kids, and to produce a high quality car. And so it's amazing what they end up coming up with in the process that it goes through.
Now, this car was at the World Championship in 2014?
14, yeah. We finished, that was 4th place that year.
Okay, so let me explain this also. This was the World Championship run car for the season of 2014. The qualifying car that they had to win the championship before was a totally different car.
Totally different car.
So not only when you do qualify, you have to produce a car that wins to qualify to get to the next level. But guess what? You can't just hit a home run by accident and have that home run car, because the next level you have to start all over.
That's correct.
And your team has to work together, and that's what, to me, is so special about the uniqueness of how good Manatee County has really put unbelievable talent out there. And that is from the top down. I mean, like any success story, it always starts at the top, the organization and how it's planned, and the details are so extreme. Now, people, you have to understand, these kids are very talented, but so are the people they're competing against.
Absolutely.
And
yeah, you're going up against. I think right now there's 37 different countries that are involved in this. So when you get to the World Finals, there's going to be about 55 teams there from 37 different countries. So you're getting the best team from around the world, and that's what you're going up against.
Another thing that is absolutely amazing, that I want to put this in perspective for everybody, the only difference between Formula One and what these kids are doing in high school is one is a drag racing version and it's a straight shot, but the rules are exactly the same. You have to produce, what's the book called again?
We call them portfolios, and that's what this is. And they've switched it. This used to be like a 20-page portfolio. Now they have to do a 10-page marketing portfolio and a 10-page engineering portfolio. And so this was one from our previous team, and it's extremely high quality. I mean, the kids, when they, and this is all done by them. I mean, we don't use anybody to do it and all that stuff. They do all the work, and it's just amazing when you actually can sit down and take the time to read one of these books. You'll learn a lot. You'll really learn a lot.
No, when you first get your opportunity, guys, kids, when you get hired in the world and you get that first home run job and your boss wants a report, you've already had that Super Bowl of like, I'm nervous, let's get it out of my system.
Yeah.
This thing's no joke, and here's a great story. I think this is awesome. Wait till you hear this story. Mr. K, is it your daughter?
Yeah.
Okay, this is awesome to me. Mr. K's daughter had an opportunity to go to Georgia Tech. She had an opportunity to qualify for a $500 or $1,000 scholarship. Mr. K's daughter walked into a meeting that should have been about 20 minutes long, was an hour long. And I want all these kids to hear this, I'm sure they have, but this is what's special about the opportunity that they have here. The $500 or $1,000 scholarship, which, by the way, this particular school is probably $50,000-$60,000 a year. Is that safe to say? Is it okay to say what school we're?
Yeah.
It's Georgia Tech. So Georgia Tech, they go out, they have an opportunity, his daughter, to get a $500,000 to $100,000 scholarship. She sits down with the person who interviews her, and this book comes along. Is that accurate?
That's
okay.
accurate, yeah.
So the book comes along, and I'll show you what this is through photos and things. She sits it down. It impresses the gentleman so much that, long story short, she has a $250,000 scholarship from how detailed this book is and the opportunities that come along with it. And that's just a great fruit of example of how, if you put details and use your opportunity and do it with excellence, what can happen. You don't have any idea of what kind of explosion you can get out of details.
Absolutely.
And that's one thing I've lacked in my life I wish I had. It's just such a, if you have that gift, to use it all the time. That's awesome. But that story to me is phenomenal.
And the good part about the competition too is these guys here, if they come back world champions, they will get a full ride scholarship to the City College of London, which is a $200,000 and some odd scholarship.
My
so
goodness.
every single one of them will. So not only will they have the opportunity at this point to make their own way from here. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
it's really exciting thing.
Now, here's another thing that's special that's about, we have to be proud as Manatee County, Sarasota areas. We cover Sarasota, Manatee County, and success stories, fundraisers. Here's how the public can help out. This group of kids need to raise $63,000 when they get to the Nationals, which is in Singapore this year. And if they do not have that money, it's a big problem, and they depend on help. So if there's any way that you can help invest in the future of these kids, now we're painting a picture of like perfection here, but it's not. It's hard work. It's a lot of details. Part of this thing that is amazing to me is a marketing plan and a business plan.
Mm-hmm.
These kids are learning how to run a business through this program well before they even know how to spell business. And I'm saying that like it's unbelievable. So, I mean, everything you need to be prepared, you're able to invest in the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I will tell you, normally you hear about car washes and things like that. That's not, we have different programs. Reach out to me. I'll get you set up with the right people. They can come out, put a little presentation, safe to say.
Yeah, we'd love to give a presentation. And
we're looking for people that anyone's able to donate, to help out, to get this fund. They've been doing this for years, and then we need to raise a very large amount of money next.
Yeah.
So we're counting on everybody to help out. We have 2 months to get it done. I'm going to do what I can to get the word out, and I promise you're going to invest in something very, very special if you can do that and help out. I think it's phenomenal. I've only just met these kids, and it's amazing. They're all sitting here working diligently, and I get to see their work, and it turns out that like this is absolutely insane. You have 1 second to go certain, I don't know how far is
20 meters.
20 meters. I don't even know what 20 meters means. So it's like
it's about 66 feet. Yeah.
Okay, so on average 1.1 seconds to get from A to B. And they're the top 5 in the world every year. It's hats off to you who's teaching them. Hats off to the organization and the program. If you're financially able to help out this group, it's an absolute mistake not to take advantage of it. You're able to invest in kids that I promise you will be in a position one day to pay it forward.
Absolutely.
And it's exciting. I never knew about this. I was excited from the first time you and I had our conversation. I think it's such an awesome and unique thing. And as I got here and I learned more about it, it's my imagination of what this could be is just blew me away.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, you have several different steps in the way this sport runs. You've got racing, you have presentation, you have engineering, you have to have a pit. Everything that Formula One needs to do, these kids have to put in place. The rules are the same. The outcome, you can raise your money you need, go all the way to Singapore and find out that this thing's off by a centimeter.
Yeah.
And you go home, kids, with nothing. And that's how detailed it is. And that's how important the details are. And in order to qualify, in my eyes, it's special.
Yeah, it really is. And I mean, we've had a lot of great success because we have a lot of great kids.
Yeah.
And that's what I can attribute it to. I mean, yes, I lead them and I advise them, but at the end of the day, they'll all tell you I don't do any work for them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
They're the ones that get out there and do the work and they get it done, and I'm just here to kind of oversee, and a lot of times I have to reel them in because they have these ideas that are grander than all of us.
Yeah.
But no, it really works good, and I credit the kids more than anything because without them we would not be where we're at.
Inbox me if you have any questions regarding how you can help out. Let's pay attention, and I guarantee you'll be hearing more about these kids in the future and how they did in nationals in Singapore. But we need your help now. See what you can do to help us out. Lenny Besterman, Sarasota Experience.